Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm back, and I'm back with a vengeance. And you listen to me when I talk, because I ain't pretending. What? No, seriously, I'm back. I'm back with a jump off to make a new video for y'all. The last time I made one was in the beginning of October, and I've been in a funk. I have just not been in the mood to record a video. But y'all saw the title, and American Horror Story, The Coven, has snapped me completely out of it. Like, I am so here for this season. I'm just excited. I love watching it. I just caught up this week because I've been watching like recaps. Like I've been watching Ashley Miller's What It Is. She's been talking about it, and I watched a couple of Bondi Blues videos, and I'm just like, let me check this out because who knows? I could like it, and I like it. The new episode came on Wednesday, and luckily for me, the first episode was so on demand, so I started fresh from the beginning, and I caught up on Wednesday and Thursday. I caught up, and I'm just like mind blown. So I just had to talk about it to somebody. Now I'm just going to give y'all like the bullet points of the backstory, and I'm just going to dive right in because I'm not trying to have this video be incredibly long to talk about everything that's been happening since the season has been started because it's been going on for 6 weeks, and like I said, I just started watching it, so I'll send y'all to the people that have been talking about it all along so you can like catch back up like I am, and then I'm just going to go from episode 6. Now, American Horror Story: The Coven. This is the third season of the American Horror Story franchise. First one I didn't watch because I didn't know what it was. Second one I didn't watch because I'm scared of asylums, like in real life. So I was like, no, I'm not trying to do that to myself. I'm watching this one because I'm into like the supernatural world and stuff. I find it interesting, so that's why I'm so interested in this. And The Coven is loosely based off of actual happenings. Like, Kathy Bates' character, Madame Delphine LaLaurie, was an actual person in the 18th century New Orleans who actually did those things to her slaves. If you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't watch it, Google her and you'll know what I'm talking about. Angela Bassett's character, Marie Laveau, she was real. And then the Axeman, the serial killer from episode 6, he was real too. So it has the supernatural world, which I'm interested in, and I'm also a low-key history buff. So that's why it plays to two of my interests. So that's why I'm like so here for it. Now with the characters, you got Zoe. Now, I have absolutely lost to what Zoe's power is at this point. Like, she said something to that zombie make him just drop to the ground. I don't know what she said. Put it down in the comments if you know what she said, because I was completely lost. I have no idea what she can do. All I know is she got to kill her vagina. In the first episode, she tried to have her first time with her boyfriend. Then she killed him because there's something wrong with her vagina. Like that's all I know about Zoe. So you got Madison, my girl, Emma Roberts. She's just the baddest. I love her, and we're gonna get into her more in this episode because you know where I'm going. You got Queenie, who's played by, let me try to get her name right. Is Gabby Sidibe. Like, that's the girl who played Precious. And fun fact, I own the DVD of Precious, but I could just never bring myself to watch it because just no reason. I just can't do it. It's too much. Gabby Sidibe, her power is she's a human voodoo doll. Like, wrap your mind around that. Like, I forget which episode it was, but it showed like her backstory, how the Coven found her. She was working in this chicken joint, and this guy's like, I was supposed to get 7 pieces, you only gave me 6. And then Gabby's like, no, you ate one, you're just trying to get a free piece of chicken out of me. And then the guy calls her stupid and just like, give me another piece of chicken. And then Gabby, she stuck her hand in a boiling hot thing of grease. And then the guy's hand started bubbling and burning. And that's how the Coven found her, because the story made the newspaper, but nobody saw her throw the grease on him. Magic. Now the last character, well, the last young witch. Her name is Nan. I don't know who's played by her in real life. But her power is she's like a clairvoyant. She can read minds, and she like can see into the past and future and stuff, so she's really cool. I like her character. Now we also have the Supreme, which is the queen of all witches. Fiona is played by Jessica Lange. And we also have the queen of the voodoo witches, who's played by Angela Bassett. That's Marie Laveau, who I talked about before. And we have Delphine LaLaurie, who's played by Kathy Bates. A butler, named Spaulding. I don't know who plays him. And then those are all the main characters. So let me just start talking about episode 6. So the episode starts out in New Orleans 1919, which is when the Axeman was roaming the streets, threatening to kill everybody. He actually put a death threat in the newspaper for everybody to read. So the Salem witches in 1919 are reading this newspaper, and it basically says, if your house is not playing jazz music when I walk by, I'm coming in and killing everybody in there. So the witches are like, okay, we got to play this jazz music or else he's going to come in. And then the main witch, or we don't really know who she is, but one of the witches is like, we're powerful. We're more powerful than this mortal. So we got to do something about him because nobody else is going to. So the Axeman's walking by and every house is playing jazz music except the witch house. They're playing opera music. So he stands outside for a minute and he walks in. He walks up the stairs, it's all dark in the house, and he follows to where the opera music is, and he sees the main witch like doing the tarot cards, and she's sitting on the floor. So he cuts her speaker off and cuts the opera music off. He said, I warned you. And she pulls out the death card. She's like, just as I expected. So he goes to swing the axe. She blows out her candle and disappears. All of a sudden, this other witch pops up from behind the Axeman, talks about, that card was for you. Stabs him. Then, every other witch in that house, they pop out from the shadows, under beds, under sheets, out of closet. They pop out from everywhere. And all of them start stabbing the Axeman all at once. Stab, 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 stab. I paused the TV and counted. It was like 8 witches stabbing him at once. I was all like, hashtag multiple stab wounds. And then we jump back to present day. So we see Zoe going through stuff, being nosy, walking around, and all of a sudden she finds a secret compartment in a closet. And in the compartment she sees pictures, and she also finds a Ouija board, a spirit board, which is used to communicate with spirits. So she brings it out, and she talks to Gabby and Nan. And she's like, we can use this to try to figure out where Madison is. Because there's only 3 of us now, and we need all 4 of us if we're going to survive. And Nan's all in, but Gabby's at first is like, no, I don't want to, I'm not trying to do that. But then they all get on board. So they gather around the spirit board, and then Gabby's character is like, be careful who you're talking to. I saw my grandma use one of those once, and she brought a spirit out, and it burned her house down and took half her face with it. So they're all on the spirit board, talking to it, and they're like, are we alone? No. Did you die here? Yes. Were you murdered? Yes. Who killed you? You did. And then they say, yeah, Zoe says, is this Madison? And the thing says no. And it's like, who are you? And it spells Axeman. Gabby slaps the thing away, and she says, if we're going to survive, you better figure out who you're talking to. And then we jump from that. If I'm all over the place, if I get things out of order, excuse me, I didn't take any notes. This is just a spur-of-the-moment video. But we see Cordelia, that's Fiona's daughter, who also co-runs the school for witches with Fiona. We see her get out of the hospital because, if y'all know, she got acid thrown in her eyes last episode, or 2 episodes ago. One of them. She got acid thrown in her eyes, so she's blind now. We see her get home from the hospital, and she's with her husband. Now, this acid to her eyes is giving Fiona a new power. Her husband touches her arm, and Fiona gets a flash of him cheating on her with his redhead girl. And she's like, who's the redhead? And the husband's like, I don't know what you're talking about. You must be high. You know what kind of drugs they gave you at the hospital. And Cordelia's just like, no, don't lie to me. You better tell me now because I'm going to figure out everything eventually. Just get out. And Fiona, at the same time, she's known all along that there's something wrong with this man. She hasn't been able to put her finger on it, but she knows there's something wrong with him. And she doesn't like him at all. So the husband leaves, and Cordelia is just like, I wanted to sever his arms and throw him out the window. And then Fiona touches her. And then Cordelia gets a flash of Myrtle Snow, which is the head of the Witches' Council, who Fiona got burned at the stake because she blamed her for throwing the acid in Cordelia's eyes. Which I'm not sure if she did it or not. I don't think we're ever really going to know until maybe down the line. But I don't think Myrtle did it. I think Fiona just wanted her out of the way because Myrtle was asking too many questions and getting to know a little too much. So Fiona had to take care of her. Next we see Zoe once again messing with the spirit board. This time she's by herself. She's just talking to the spirit board and she says, if you tell me where Madison's body is, I'll release you. and the spirit board spells ATTIC, attic. Now this moment reminded me of so much of the first episode of Charmed, when the girls got their powers and they were using their spirit board and it spelled attic. It just took me back. Like, if y'all never saw Charmed, that's the original witch show right there, or at least for me. That was a good show. I'm back. Okay, so Zoe walks back up into the attic, looking around, and it's actually the butler's room that she goes into. And you see all these dolls, all these tea sets, and we're all just looking like, oh, okay. So she opens this toy box, and she sees Madison's body. And all of a sudden, the butler comes behind her, puts a hand over her mouth, and we cut to commercial. Next thing that happens is we see Cordelia's husband. He goes to Angela Bassett's character, Marie Laveau, Queen of the Voodoo Witches. If you don't know, the premise of the season right now is pretty much the Voodoo Witches versus the Salem Witches. They're like sworn enemies. So, a husband of a Salem witch going to a Voodoo witch for help makes everybody raise their eyebrow like, what are you doing? Like, that's weird. So, he goes to her, and we find out he's actually working for her. He's a witch hunter who Marie Laveau sent into the Salem camp to kill all the witches. And the redheaded girl that we saw him cheating on Cordelia with is actually a witch who he found online, and he killed her. He shot her in the head. At this point, we find out that Cordelia's husband is not doing the job Marie sent him to do well. She said, I sent you in that house to take care of business, not play house. She got you hard and you went soft. When I plant a witch, I want her to stay planted. I don't want her to come up like a ragweed. I want you to go back and bring me all their heads. Fiona, Cordelia, and every witch they have in that house. And you better do it quickly, if you want to stay alive. Angela Bassett gave me everything I needed in this episode. She stayed seated right on her throne and said exactly what she wanted done. And he better do it too. We go back to Zoe, Queenie, and all them, and they got Spaulding, the butler, tied up in a chair. And they're trying to figure out why Madison is dead, why she's in a toy box, and just what's going on. So what they're going to do is, since Spaulding can't talk because his tongue's cut out, I feel like I'm spoiling everything for y'all if you're watching this and don't know what's going on. Get caught up. That's all I can say. Just get caught up. So, excuse me. So Spaulding can't talk because his tongue's cut out. So, Zoe's going to ask the questions. Nan's going to read Spaulding's mind and say his answers out loud. And if he doesn't cooperate, they're going to take this red-hot spatula and burn him with it. So the first question he doesn't answer. He gets burned. Then they ask him, did you kill Zoe? I mean, not did you kill Zoe. Did you kill Madison? He thinks yes, which we know is untrue. I'm not going to tell y'all who killed Madison because I'm going to need y'all to get up to speed with me. But Spaulding didn't do it. So he thinks yes, and they say why. And he basically alludes to the fact that he's been having sex with Madison's dead body, which is absolutely disgusting. And then they ask him something else. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it obviously was an answer that made Queenie happy, because she took that burning spatula and put it on her face, which because she's a voodoo doll, it did it to him. It burned his cheek all up and he passed out from the pain. But Zoe doesn't think Spaulding did it. He thinks that he's protecting somebody. She doesn't know who yet, but she knows that he didn't do it. So we're upstairs with Cordelia in her room. She's getting undressed, about to go to bed or something. And then the camera pans and we see the Axeman. Now with Cordelia's new sight, she can now come in contact with this spirit that's in her room. So he's talking to her, like harassing her, swinging the axe at her. I was confused, like, could he have really done something? Like, I don't think he could have, but she was acting like he could have, so I was confused. Well, she couldn't really. I'm just not going to touch it, because I was confused. So, so all the witches come up and try to save her, because they know it's the Axeman, because they hear jazz music playing. But the door's locked, so they run to the library, try to find a book, a spell to release him. But Queenie's like, all these books, and not one of them are in English. We got to call somebody else. But Zoe somehow has a new power. She runs her hands over the books, and she says, that's the one. She pulls it out, and immediately goes to spell the need. They all hold hands, they say it, X-Men goes away. I'm thinking Zoe's going to be the new Supreme. Like, that's where my head is going. Because she has all these powers, nobody understands what they are. In my brain, it's either going to be Zoe or Madison as the new Supreme. And I just need to keep watching and figure out where we go. One thing I forgot to mention is the whole Frank and Kyle, Misty Day, Zoe storyline. Kyle was this boy that liked Zoe at a party. He was in a frat. The frat date raped Madison. So Madison used her telekinetic power, flipped their bus over, killed every single boy in the bus, including Kyle. Next episode, Zoe and Madison go and look at all the pieces, sew the best boy parts together and make Frank and Kyle. And they bring him into life, and Kyle's just a wreck. Like, this boy is a mess. He can't talk, can't walk, and he killed his mom. His mom was a rapist. Like, you can't tell me no different. His mom clearly had been doing stuff with Kyle over a span of who knows how long. And Frank and Kyle bashed your head in with a trophy. That was like 2 episodes ago. And then we haven't seen him since. So episode, we see Kyle come back to Misty Day. Misty Day is a witch that has the power to bring things back to life. And she brought Kyle back to life. She was bringing Myrtle Snow back to life, the witch that got burned at the stake. So she's bringing her back, and that's just going to cause a whole bunch of hell. And so Misty Day is just bringing everybody back. It's getting on my nerves, because people just need to stay planted, in my Angela Bassett voice. Stay planted. So Misty's trying to give Kyle a bath, but he just gets set off and starts breaking everything. Tables, books, papers, radio, he's breaking everything. Zoe comes back, and Kyle runs over to her, and Misty's like, get him out here. Like, I can't have him here anymore. But Zoe says to Misty, I need your help, because they're going to bring Madison back from the dead. Misty says, I'll help you dig a hole, because she's been dead for who knows how long. She's already started rotting. I can't bring her back. But Zoe said, and she's missing an arm, because Spaulding pulled it off. But Zoe's like, no, I have the arm, and that I can sew it back on. And Misty's like, do you see what Kyle looks like? You are not that good with a needle. I can't talk. You are not that good with a needle and thread, boo. But, Zoe says, we need you to bring Madison back. And Misty agrees. So she tries to bring her back at first, but she's like, she's been dead for too long. I need your help. Get on her stomach and start pushing. Zoe starts pushing. All this red stuff starts coming out of Madison. And this big cockroach crawls out of her mouth. When I'm dead and in the ground, my casket is going to be bug proof. Like, I'm going to need them to, like, spray that all over my spray bug stuff all over my casket. Like, I don't care what you do. Just keep the bugs out of my casket. Just please. That's all I ask for. But yeah. Madison starts coughing and hacking. She gets up, she sits up, and all she says is, I need a cigarette. That was the line of the episode. It's like, this girl just raised from the dead. I need a cigarette. Like, boom. Mind blown. So let me go back to the last scene in the episode after the witch's release the X-Man's spirit from the house. So we see him walking out. And this is where I was. I thought he was going to walk out the gate and, like, disappear. But no. He walks out the gate, turns to the left, and just starts walking. I was like, okay. I was like, wait, can people... Oh my god, people can see him. He's not a spirit. He's, like, alive. Like, he's a human again. And he was just walking, and the only thing I could think was, if y'all ever saw Kill Bill, I thought the only thing that would have made that scene better was, like, it was the first one where the blonde lady was walking, she was in the nurse's outfit, she was just whistling. That would have made the scene, like, chilling. It was like, people can see him, and I feel like his character is going to just keep building in the season. So we see him go to the bar, and he sits next to Fiona, who we haven't seen all episode. She would have been helpful in fighting spirits and stuff, but she was at the bar, and she was getting chemo. So we'll give her a pass this episode. So we see him, he says, like, hey, pretty lady, and she's just like, and then the episode cuts off. From the preview for that next episode, it looks like Queenie's going to go talk to Angela Bassett, which is going to be crazy because Queenie's on the Salem witch side. But she's probably going to, she might join the Voodoo witch side, which would be crazy. So, Queenie's going to go talk to Angela Bassett. We see more of Axeman. And then, ooh. Let me get her name right. Cordelia is going to find out that Fiona actually killed Madison. Oh, I wasn't going to tell y'all that. Oh well. Spoiler alert. Cordelia is going to find out that Fiona killed Madison. Because all we see is the last scene in the preview. Cordelia gets a flash. Then she's just like, Fiona. And that's it. Next episode is going to be great. I can't wait till Wednesday. That was my review for American Horror Story The Coven. It's a great series. I'm excited to watch it. I'm going to try to keep reviewing it. You can expect my reviews. Comes on Wednesday nights at 10. So, anywhere from Thursdays to Sunday. Y'all give myself that window. If it's not up from Thursday to Sunday, I'm probably not going to be able to do it. Because my weeks are busy. I'm sorry. I have 8 a.m.s every day. I might be able to squeeze in some time here or there, but Thursday to Sunday is usually my free time window. So, I'm going to try my best to keep up with it because I really like the show and I really like talking about it. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see the reviews from the beginning, you can go to Bondi Blues channel. Much love from KY, and Ashley Miller's been talking about them in her What It Is videos, so you can look for them there. I'm going to link all that down there. But yeah, I'm about to go wrap this video up, edit, all that, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.